I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man, Uncle Freezy, the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe. What is good? Y'all know how we do it. Early in the morning. Get those hands up. Blue tears. Orange tears. Blorange tears. Alabama. And let's go. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scream. Let's go. Let me start this day. Let me start the show off with a quote from the great American poet, Graham Hoover. Right? Graham Hoover says, now a lot of people think this is easy as it looks. Books and books of rhyme concepts and hooks. Session to session to get thoughts manifested. Stressing and stressing to hit the world with a blessing. Bim, let's go. Let's go, party people. It's good to see y'all. Let's rock. Let's rock. Let's go. Chef NYK in the building. Joe Madden. Let's go. What's good? Don P. Let's go. Real King in the building. Jack City, I see you. Yo, Mo is in the building. What's good, Mo? It's good to see you, bro. What's good? It's good to see you. Right? Let me get this tip-off started. Where's tip-off? Tip-off starts with a T. Tip-off starts with a T. Is that T capitalized? Yo. So for this morning's tip-off, yo, G Marley is in the building. Miss Geraldine, what's good? How you doing? Soul Fingers in the building. Danny Lee, what's good? Yo. So here's the tip-off for the day, right? Knicks fans, we may have to come to the conclusion that Mitchell Robinson will leave in free agency. We may have to come to the conclusion that Mitchell Robinson may leave in free agency. How does that make you feel? Do you experience separation anxiety? Like, no, Mitch, please don't go. Are you singing that song by Tank, Please Don't Go? Please don't go. Please don't go. right? Or are you impartial? They're like, we'll find another second round center to take his place. The pun is intended there. We'll find another center in the second round that'll take his place. We'll find another athletic freak center in the second round that'll take his place. Pun intended. Right? Or are you, I'm glad he's gone. He stalled the offense. He didn't develop as a prospect. He wanted this money and he was distracted by the money, and he didn't play his best because he was always thinking about getting paid. Plus, he was always injured. Is that your stance? Right? Think about that. Think about that for a minute as I mingle with the chat, okay? Miss Geraldine, how the bowling game going? I gotta mingle with the chat, y'all. This is I'm sorry, these are my friends. Okay. These are my friends. I gotta mingle with the chat, y'all. It's it's not like we see each other, so I gotta mingle with the chat. Soulfinger, what's good? How you doing, man? Hey, Soulfinger, I missed Saturday because I had food poisoning, and I have a funny story to tell. So we didn't meet. Oh, excuse me. Me and Soulfinger didn't review the movie Friday. This Saturday night, or Saturday night that just passed, because Uncle Freezy had food poisoning. But things happen. Pudge Nice is in the building. Pudge Nice, what's good? C-Mac is in the building. What's good? Anybody seen Bodega? I'm looking for a Bodega Wi-Fi. Anybody seen a Bodega Wi-Fi? C-Mac is in the building. Pudge Nice is in the building, man. It's good to see y'all, man. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? Pudge Nice is like, what's up, Chief Rocker? What's good, man? We got the dopest morning joint in Knicks universe. Y'all know that, right? No disrespect to anybody else, man, that's doing it. But I feel like this chat right here is the livest. I feel like this chat right here is the livest, right? No disrespect to anybody else doing it, man, because I'm sure they're doing a pretty good job. A few of them I kind of like, but y'all make this experience dope. Denny's Gaming is in the building. What's good? Yeah, we rock out every morning, bro. We rock. We don't just show up. We rock. We throw your hands in the air. Yeah, man. So here's the question. How do y'all feel about Mitchell Robinson? Right? Is it red light, yellow light, green light, go? Is it red light, please, Mitch, please stay? Is it yellow light, like, yeah, we'll fine, whatever, yeah, whatever? Or is it green light, like, man, go on. You ain't did nothing for us, no way. Miss Geraldine says, tonight we won 3 games. Last Tuesday, what? Okay, I see you. I see you. Yeah, I see you. Hey, Miss Geraldine, Benny is something. Benny is something. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna shoot a small video clip of Benny and put it on the Lawrence Tears Twitter page, or I might put a video clip and put it on the Lawrence Tears community page. Right? I might just do that. Right? And also, guys and gals, I'm working on a Lawrence Tears t-shirt design. Right? And what I want to do is this is on me, right? What I want to do is, first of all, please have a P.O. box, right? But what I want to do for the members, I'm working on a t-shirt design. I'm going to design some shirts, man, and send it to the members of the Lawrence Tears channel, right? right? I'm gonna send that to the Lawrence Tears members, because I have a homeboy that does it, and the shirts won't be cheaper because it's my homeboy, but it's more convenient because I can talk to him every day. So I'm working on that. So I'm working on that. I'm working on some t-shirts to send out to the Lawrence Tears members. And listen, y'all, I want to send y'all stuff, but make sure y'all got a PO box, because today nowadays I feel uncomfortable with people's personal information, like, you know, phone numbers and addresses, mailing addresses. I mean, personal addresses and all that. I just feel uncomfortable with that. So if you got PO boxes, I'm working on trying to get that stuff sent to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just working on some stuff. So just give me some time. I'm working on the design. I got one in mind. I'm trying to use an app online in order to get it started, so I can send y'all some stuff. So just bear with me on that, and I promise you I'll get that stuff sent out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Okay, there's Miss Mocha. Hold on for a second. So Miss Mocha brought breakfast into us. Breakfast is sliced cucumbers. Sliced cucumbers, y'all. Trying to do the right thing, y'all. Trying to do the right thing. Right? Tiffin Smith says, shout out to Uncle Freezy in the chat. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Thank you, boss. I think me and Mo work together as a good team. I think it's because we done got all the kids out the house. Now all we have is Benny and Gaston. So yeah. But anyway, let's talk about Mitchell Robinson, and then let's talk about potential replacements. Nick G is in the building. What's good? And Nick G, how's our people? Hey, Miss Mo, can I have some salt and pepper? Yeah. Salt and pepper's here, and we're in effect. All right, let's go. Make sure, yeah, oh yeah. Hey, Pledge Nice, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Make sure y'all like this video. Show your man some love. Show the channel some love. Show the family some love. By smashing the like button, right? Subscribing to the channel. We want to continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? We are not like other YouTube channels, other Nick YouTube channels that you watch, Nick, other content creators. Like, we don't have a whole bunch of guests. We don't have a whole bunch of stuff, fancy stuff or whatever. We just rock it. That's what we do. We just rock it. Cool. Wait a minute, Nick G. Did you say babies are safe? So baby is here? Nick G, did you say baby is here? Oh, look at this. Salt and pepper's here. Nick G, did you say baby is here? So for the record, so I generally do like a ratio, like 3 portions pepper and 1 portion salt. I'm not a big salt fan, but it does liven up your stuff, right? Hey, Nick G, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Congratulations, Nick G. Man, congratulations, bro. Nick G, that's my brother. That's my brother. Congratulations, man. I hope everybody is doing good. Everybody is well. Yeah, man. Congratulations, Nick G. Nick G. So for the record, I'm eating vegan bacon. And this is what it looks like. And we're going to get into the Mitchell Robinson talk and the potential replacement, right? But vegan bacon. And cucumber slices. So let's do it. Let's have the conversation, man. Let's have the conversation. Let's do it. Right? For one, do you guys feel like we should re-sign Mitchell Robinson? Just give us something to go on in the chat. Do you feel like we should re-sign Mitch? Should we re-sign Mitchell Robinson? All right. Okay. I feel you. A lot wise, what's good? CWC, where you been? You told me you was coming back the other day and you ain't show up. I'm still mad about that, CWC. So here's my stance on Mitch. I don't think you'll get everything you need out of Mitch if you don't get a point guard. Right? I don't feel like you can unlock Mitch unless you bring in a playmaker. Right? Also, I think Mitch is worth somewhere between $15 and $20 million if he's unlocked. If you can unlock Mitchell Robinson, he's definitely worth somewhere between 15 and 20 million. I would not hesitate to give him the Jared Allen money if we had a Darius Garland. Right? And I know that sounds blasphemous to a team that doesn't spend money. Don P, what's good?
Yo, what's good, Uncle Freezy? What's up to the chat?
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right. I'm in a good mood today.
It's good to see you, bro.
Yeah, it's good to see you as well, man.
Would you re-sign Mitch?
Would I resign Mitch? That's tricky, man. I'm not gonna front. On one end, if we're talking about starting Obi Toppin for the people who wants to start Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson is essential to our success because he's an anchor on defense. On the other end, we should have resigned him earlier.
Right.
We should have resigned him earlier. So if we try to resign him now, we may have to overpay him. And that's, like I said in the chat, that's gonna bite us in the butt down the line when it comes to trying to sign talent elsewhere.
Right.
So I don't think so. I don't think we should resign Mitch. It's almost as if it's more of like a lose-lose to us. I think we should draft another big with as much potential as Mitch, if not better. They're in his draft class, so why not?
Right. Let me pose this to you. Right. If you combine Taj Gibson's $5+ million and Nerlens Noel's $9 million, plus what Mitch makes, that's $16 million a year. Right? Right?
Got you.
If you count Jericho Sims as Mitchell Robinson's direct backup, with Nerlens Noel off the books, with Taj Gibson off the books, would you be okay giving Mitch the money that Nerlens Noel and Taj Gibson make?
Yeah, how much is Nerlens Noel making again?
8.8, 8.88 something. So it's $8.88 something million.
I'm not quite sure. Taj is not making that much, of course.
Taj is making 5+ mil.
5+ mil. Yeah, I'll be okay
Yeah.
with giving Mitch that. But see, my thing is, there's a lot of other teams that wants Mitch.
Yep.
And, they starting from a center and they can afford him. So I wouldn't be surprised if they overpay for him.
Right.
You see what I mean? So like that's why I'm saying we may have to overpay for Mitch
Right.
because we got competition when it comes to him.
But why does Mitch have suitors?
Because he could do the bare minimum. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. I think he's the best offensive rebounder in the game. Not only that, but he's a true anchor on defense.
Okay.
So teams like the Toronto Raptors, like that was their only weakness. They didn't have a center like Mitch.
Right.
Teams like the Spurs, that's one of the key pieces that they need a center like Mitch. Those teams can afford him.
Okay. I would say this, bro. I would give Mitch somewhere between 15 and 20 if I brought in a point guard. Right? If I don't bring in a point guard, then I can't bring back Mitch. Right? And it's not because I don't like Mitch. It's just because if you saw what Darius Garland did to Jarrett Allen's game, Mitch, to me, Mitch is more talented, physically talented than Jarrett Allen. Jarrett Allen has a little bit more nasty to him, right? Mitch has a lot more natural athleticism to him, right? If you saw what Chris Paul did with DeAndre Ayton, and then look at what Alec Burks did to Mitchell Robinson. Right?
Yeah. Well, you know what, Freeze? The Knicks, the front office knows that we need a point guard. And you said it right. You said a playmaker. You didn't just say point guard, you said a playmaker.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think there's a difference between the two at this point. So I mean, they got a couple of names in the hat in terms of who they're trying to get, and they're pursuing them really hard, more so than they're pursuing another center or any other position for that matter. So I think if Mitch does stay, we will have a point guard in full to activate this team. Cough, cough, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I like Mitch. I will resign him for the right price. But I will not pay him 20 mil. I won't pay him 20 mil. I'll pay him his market value price, 15 mil at the most. But I won't pay him 20 mil.
The reason why I said I would pay him that money is because I think it's a crime that the Knicks are paying $14 million a year for Taj Gibson and Nerlens Noel. Right? I think that's a crime. Nerlens Noel offers you nothing. I tell this joke at work. What do Nerlens Noel and Roberto Duran have in common? I'm gonna let the chat. What do Nerlens Noel and Roberto Duran have in common?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear this.
Sherwin M, good morning. Sherwin M, what do Nerlens Noel and Roberto Duran have in common? Hands of stone.
That's a
Hands
good.
of stone. Hands of stone. Allah Wise got it. Allah Wise got it. Hands of stone. Right? That's what they have in common. Right? And so my deal is with Nerlens Noel is not that I don't like his heart. I just think Yo, it's not that I dislike Nerlens Noel. I just think that we need a starting caliber center to be our starting center and not a rotation big. I think Nerlens Noel at this stage of his career is a rotation big. And I know that sounds disrespectful, but when you have a young core, when you have a young core, man, go get a young center to go with them young guys, man. Grow them all together. Right. Mitch is young. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that Nerlens Noel, he doesn't offer you any upside offensively and in transition and health wise. He don't offer you nothing.
Yeah.
JJ. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, you was about to quote JJ's comment.
I'm about to tell JJ this. JJ, I think if we get Mark Williams, I think Mark Williams has the potential to be the third best center the Knicks have ever had. If the Knicks get Uncle Freezy, fire up the hype train for Mark Williams. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I won't argue against Mark Williams. I won't. I personally like Jalen Duren, but I can't argue against Mark Williams. I like his length, his physical tools.
Yeah, I was doing his mock up, right? I saw it on these slides that I generally before the show or sometime before the show, if I'm gonna go profile somebody, I generally do like a slide or something, right?
Right.
But I was watching Mark Williams highlights. I'm like, hey, if we get him, he might be the third best center the Knicks have ever had.
So let me know, Uncle Freeze. Like, so what's the deal? Like, is it because I haven't really heard a lot of centers' name being mentioned in the draft besides Kai Soto. So, do you think that having a wing is more important than having a center?
What I'm saying is this: the Knicks desperately have to upgrade the backcourt, right? The backcourt. And I'm going to say this truthfully, but not disrespectfully, right? Our backcourt ain't it. Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier ain't it. Alec Burks ain't it. Derrick Rose ain't it, bro. These guys are not it. Quentin Grimes may become a great wing shooter, maybe a great perimeter defender. But aside from that, Miles McBride, to me, Miles McBride is going to be the best out of this group in a couple years, and everybody knows it. The dude just needs seasoning, right?
Right.
Rokas Jokibitis, we don't know if he's coming over here yet, right? So my deal is my deal is you desperately have to upgrade the backcourt, bro. You got to. You won't be able to play. You won't be able to play a Memphis or a Minnesota or a Utah or a Golden State or a Atlanta or an Orlando or anybody with guards that are not athletic enough to defend and athletic enough to be a threat.
Let me ask you this then. Alec Burks, is he a scrub at playing at his natural position or two, or he's a solid player?
He's a scrub.
He's a scrub.
Yeah.
Okay. Evan Fournier, for what he does, his role is shooting at the three. That should be his role. Is he a scrub at that?
Yes.
RJ Barrett, do you think he's a scrub?
RJ Barrett is a struggling young player with humongous upside.
But
he's struggling.
I would say playing at the two. When he played the season beforehand, at the two, was he a scrub?
At the two, where are you saying defending twos or twos offensively?
Defending and offensively, because
so those are two different things, though. Defending twos, RJ Barrett struggles.
Okay,
it's awful, right? Playing the two offensively, I think he's a diamond in the rough.
Got you. So his offense helps us more than his defense hurts us, right?
Yeah, at the two.
At the two,
right?
Right. Quentin Grimes. The few times he got the spotlight on him, was he a scrub before he got injured?
Now, I think Quentin Grimes is a really good, capable NBA player, but he's not going to be a difference maker. He's not going to be a Kobe Bryant.
All right, that's fair. Now, do you see any shooting guard in the draft that's going to be a Kobe Bryant or a difference maker?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
Benedict Mathurin is the guy. Benedict Mathurin is what you call a difference maker. Because for one, I'm gonna name the four things he's got. Right? And a lot of these things get overlooked because of the last thing I'm gonna say. Right? So Benedict Mathurin is what you call fundamentally sound, right? The way that he steps into his jump shot and his release is money, right? Right? It's money. It's how you teach. It's how you teach elementary school kids to shoot their jump shot, right? The fundamentals are there. The dude is a shooting film, right? He's fundamentally sound. Right. Two, he's a great set shooter and a great movement shooter. Right. Grimes is a great set shooter. As long as his feet are set, he's good. Right. You force Quentin Grimes to move, you never know what you're gonna get. Right. It happens. RJ Barrett is different. RJ Barrett is a good movement shooter, decent movement shooter, and streaky set shooter, right? Decent movement shooter. I'll just say that, right? All right. Here's thing number three with Ben Mathurin. He's an exceptional athlete, right? Right. If you took the basketball away and threw a football out there, Ben Mathurin would still be good. If you took the football out of the way and put a soccer ball out there, Ben Mathurin would still be good, right? But here's the last thing. Here's the last thing, right? Ben Mathurin is absolutely a dog. And so, in seeing his moxie and his, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I'll get into it.
Got you.
CWC is in the building. What's good?
What's good, Uncle Freezy? How you doing, man?
Man, don't worry about me. Somebody told me you hit the number. That's why you disappeared.
No, I wish I would hit the number. What up, homie? How you doing, man? I wish I did hit the number, man.
Yeah, man.
How's it going?
What y'all
man?
talking about? What's up, chat? How y'all doing? What's up, homie? How you doing, man?
All right.
Yeah, man.
About
We
you, man?
we talking about Ben Mathurin. like I was asked if there is a elite prospect in this draft at our range, and I think it's Benedict Mathurin.
You know what you had to do to get him? You know what I would do to get him?
You gotta
I would
move
get
up.
rid of Cam. I would get rid of Cam and Derrick Rose.
Wow.
You think that would work? Yeah. If you think about it, Derrick Rose, he don't even play half of the game. How many games he played last season? He get hurt, man. He injury prone. He done.
So let me get this straight, right? We're all right. So we all agree that we're in a talent acquisition phase, right?
Yep.
You agree, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
If we're in the talent acquisition phase, why would we trade Cam Reddish? Still on
You
his
know
rookie?
why?
Right.
Because he don't get that motive, man. He just not. It just seems like he missing something. Like he need to get motivated to play the game, and that's not cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you get on that court, you better be a dog. You can't have nobody motivate you like a cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. This is the NBA. This ain't college or high school. You know what I mean? I need.
I see what you're saying. But everybody doesn't have that mentality of a dog. Magic Johnson played with a smile. You see what I mean? Tracy McGrady played with like an even killed tone. Like a lot of people's not dogs, and when Cam Reddish, when he does what he does when he's healthy, he makes it look easier than everybody else on the court.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I agree with you with that.
So,
what Magic Johnson would do, he had that smell, but he was doing his thing on the court too.
right.
You know what I mean?
So my thing is, Cam Reddish. I don't know about y'all, but I think he is the most talented player on our team. We're not talking about production. I understand he gets injured, but my thing is, I said it on the last show, had we had Joel Embiid, if we drafted him, I think Knicks fans would have been calling for his head in his sophomore season, talking about we need to trade him. Had we had Giannis in his sophomore season, I think Knicks would have been calling for his head to trade him because he wasn't ready yet.
Right.
And that's my thing. I feel like we don't have patience to grow our talent. We only get the finished product from everybody else's team.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from with it.
Okay. I feel you, right? But here's the unfair part of that. Joel Embiid was a number 3 pick, right? And the only reason why he didn't go number 1 is because he was injured at Kansas. Right? If he wasn't injured at Kansas, the other guy that went to Kansas wouldn't have been drafted number 1, Andrew Wiggins.
Right.
Right. The thing about Giannis, the thing about Giannis is you're right about that one. The Knicks probably wouldn't have been patient enough with Giannis. Probably wanted to trade him. Probably wanted to trade him for a veteran. We probably would have tried to trade Giannis for Joe Johnson or something like that. You know how Knicks fans are, right?
I know.
What I will say though is with the guys that we have now, right? Giannis was a freak of nature, is a freak of nature, right? The only thing about Giannis was he was just undernourished. The dude was eating one time a day.
Yeah, he was skinny as crap.
Yeah. Remember that? He was eating one time a day, and he was sharing that meal with his brothers. That's why they so tight, right? But the thing is, with Quentin Grimes, if we can wait a million years, and Quentin Grimes will never be Giannis. We can wait a million years, and Quentin Grimes will never be Joel Embiid, right? What I'm getting at is in terms of talent, you know it when you see it. You know what I'm saying? And even though I like Quentin Grimes, but I feel like you can go find a Quentin Grimes from any workout gym USA. Right? Am I glad we have him? Yes. Am I glad we have him? Yes. But is Quentin Grimes special? No. Right? Is Quentin Grimes Klay Thompson? No. Because Klay Thompson rookie year, you knew you couldn't leave him open because Klay Thompson's thing in his early years, in Klay Thompson early years, he couldn't knock down contested threes. But if you left him open, it was wet. And then the older he got, he started knocking down threes from everywhere. But you knew he could shoot.
Freezy, you gave a good example, Klay Thompson. You are absolutely right. The only thing he could do coming out the draft was shoot. He couldn't defend back then.
No.
He couldn't put the ball on the floor back then. He couldn't do none of that. All he could do was shoot. And that's the thing with Quentin Grimes. Somebody said it before. It's not that we need superstar at every position on the Knicks. We just need players that know their role and that could do their role well. And from what I can see, Quentin Grimes, he could defend. He's a solid defender. There's no doubt about that. And he could knock down shots. There's no doubt about that. So when I'm not saying Johnny Davis or Benedict Mathurin is going to be I won't even put Benedict Mathurin in this conversation, but somebody like Johnny Davis is going to be way better than Quentin Grimes. I think he'll be a little bit better, but will he push that needle for us?
No.
But check this out.
I think
check this out. Grimes still a rookie, man. You know, after this year, he be straight. So we gotta give our kids time to grow. We can't just knock them out after one season.
I agree with you.
We had to get rid of these vets. That's what's holding them back. Cause if we get rid of Grimes and McBride for Mathurin or something like that, and they go to like Utah or something like that, man, them jokers might shine. So you gotta let them grow, man.
All right, hold on for just a split second. Fellas, how y'all doing?
Man.
There he is. What's up, boss?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Man. Freezing. I had to get in here, man. I was going to resign myself to just be in the chat.
Me too.
And get my workout on after this vacation. Try to burn some of this stuff I put on. But, man, Freezing, I can't believe you with Grimes, man.
Grimes is a ham sandwich, bro. You can get a ham sandwich from
I'm going to tell you right now. Remember how you had the reverse course on Obi?
Yep.
You're going to be reversing course on Grimes. I'm going to tell you right now.
You should be apologizing, Uncle Freezy.
And I'm going to tell you why. Grimes was about to take Evan Fournier's job, the man we paid the most money to in free agency.
Right.
He was about to take his job before he got hurt. Don't forget that. Grimes is a two-way player. Don't forget that.
Yes, sir.
That guy can shoot. That guy can shoot off the dribble. So far, it's coming off wrong the screen. He can shoot. He's a young Klay Thompson. You can see it. The building blocks are there. Because what Klay is now wasn't what Klay was when he came in the league. Let's not even think what he is right now is what he came in the league looking like. Nowhere close. But the thing Grimes play both sides of the ball, Freezy. And we don't have guys on this. Even the guy you love the most on this team ain't Grimes. Ain't consistent like Grimes. RJ is streaky. And I hear you talk about RJ shooting. RJ streaky is a streaky shooter, period. Everything about his game is streaky. He's streaky. And I love RJ. But I'm going to call it like it is. RJ is streaky. We can love players, but we can't let that overshadow other guys, man. Quentin Grimes ain't no ham sandwich, and you ain't going to find him at no rec center.
And he made 7 3-pointers too in that game? Come on.
And haven't we been begging for a player like Quentin Grimes?
Exactly.
Yes,
and
exactly.
now we're just saying he's just a regular guy. Like
I ain't saying
it. That's Uncle Freeze.
And why we in this talent acquisition phase? Just as somebody just made the point, you got to have pieces. See, the problem is, Freezy, and we all been a victim. We ain't seen this kind of stuff go on from our Knicks, where we getting young players and allowing them to develop. So we expecting some of these guys to come in and be Kobe and all these guys. You can't compare that.
We've been begging for Grimes.
Yes.
We've been begging for. This is what
we've been begging for.
Oh, come on. Now you want me to pull up the stats of Frank? Show me Frank's stats.
My man shot 40%
for young players. That's what we've been begging for young players, not these old
has-beens. But Freezy, you can't even pull up the stats because you know that's unfair due to the head coach. You know that this is unfair.
He's got 46
my bad, Freezy, I got you on the fire right now, man.
You can't act like he was getting burned. Look at the minutes.
I tell you what, though, hey, Freezy, what, I'm gonna tell you what. The eye test don't lie. That guy belongs. That's one thing I know. Everybody on this that's a Knicks fan know he was getting ready to take Evan Fournier's job. There were games where Evan Fournier was on the bench in the fourth quarter because of Grimes, the guy you call him the ham sandwich. I don't know what game you watching, Freezy, but you ain't watching Grimes. You must be watching the Westchester.
Yeah, he's a ham sandwich.
That's crazy.
This dude right here. I guarantee you, we can pull a rookie out of this draft. We can pull a rookie out of this draft.
It'll be better than Grimes.
That will be better than Grimes.
Who is that?
Freezy, pull up Clay stats from year one.
Show me who's the
you don't want to see.
Be better
I already look, man. You don't want to see these numbers. You don't want to see Clay numbers, bro. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that to Grimes, bro.
But if you think about it, that's college. They have to step in the NBA to prove they belong in the NBA.
They both played 3 years in college, bro.
And what's Grimes' 3-point shooting percentage?
38.
38%. League average 36. So he above average.
None of them guys in the draft could shoot better than Grimes.
Above average 3-point shooter, but you calling him a ham sandwich.
I mean, nobody around the 8th and 12th range.
I'm just gonna say nobody available to us.
To Sherman's point, you hear Sherman just drop in the chat. Clay couldn't put the ball on the floor his first year in the league.
Right. But Grimes can put the ball on the floor.
Why are we doing
that's what I'm saying. You giving these guys unfair assessment. You comparing them to finished products.
And then Ron, this too. Think about it.
You can't do that, Freezy.
To your point too. Remember how we did the comparison? We're like, we can't compare his favorite RJ. We're still talking about RJ development. So why are we gonna not critique RJ, but then we're gonna say Grimes is trash?
And this the funny thing too, Freezy.
I didn't say Grimes was trash.
This the funny thing where you got so much love for RJ. A man who can't shoot a free throw to save his life when the game on the line.
Let's look at RJ.
but what Grimes free throw percentage?
Grimes
he really don't get to the line like that.
Yeah. Grimes shot 68%.
And off of how many attempts though?
How many attempts?
Okay.
You know it matters. You know it matters.
0.4, so it ain't even. He don't get to the line. So that's the thing.
Yeah, he don't put the ball on the floor to get to the line.
I think he might have been about 80% in college.
And we know why he couldn't put the ball on the floor to get to the rack because of the spacing.
Exactly.
So let's act like we don't know. We know these things, guys. Let's be real here.
So my thing is, and the reason why I asked these questions in the beginning because I know we shaky at the point guard, but I think we're straight at the two. If anything, we need to just offload. Grimes is solid. RJ, he's still getting better. You know what I mean? What's his name? Evan Fournier or Alex Burke? One of them got to go.
And see, look at that, Freezy. Look at how many minutes a game Clay was getting off rip. Still getting more than Grimes. Oh, for real?
Okay. So just so that we can kill this Quentin Grimes is going to be Klay Thompson thing, right?
No, ain't nobody saying
One
that.
I
dude
just said it
shot
would be a
one
good
dude shot
comparison. I didn't say
40%
that's
from
who
the
he would
floor.
be.
The other dude shot in his rookie year, shot 44% from the floor, 41% from three, right? And 86% from the free throw line. And we're comparing Quentin Grimes to this
Okay,
dude.
we said that it is a good player comparison, but we obviously didn't say that's who he's going to be. And then if you
No,
look at it,
let's not do that, man.
if you
But
look
I
at
can
it,
tell you this: Grimes is an above-average three-point shooter.
yeah, you
Right.
can't call
League
him
average 36. Ham sandwiches don't shoot above
Breezy.
league
You
average.
said that he is a
Three.
regular player. Remember that. That's what you said.
Yeah, Grimes just a regular
You can
Joe.
find him on any team, right?
Yeah, Grimes. What's wrong with that?
You
You
can't.
can't find him on every team.
Like Grimes every day, man.
You can't find go on Washington team and tell me somebody who's comparable to Grimes.
All I'm saying is Grimes. I think y'all are severely overrating Grimes, bro. And I don't want to sound like a hater. I just think he's a cheeseburger.
I just think that, under this head coach, there's only certain things that players are able to do. And then you can't even add on the fact that the spacing is just as bad. So we can't say these guys aren't doing this and that.
And the point guard play was terrible.
There's no point guard.
I agree with you.
Freezer, I'm going to tell you right now, and some people ain't going to like this, but it's the truth. When you look at Grimes game, year one, and you look at RJ game one, year one, who looked the better player? Who looks the better player?
You say Grimes and who?
Saying after year one, Grimes or RJ?
Grimes and RJ. Who looked like they're more comfortable with their game between the two? Who game looked like they know they roll?
Ron, he's not going to give you that.
No, he ain't going to admit it.
I'll take Grimes.
He ain't going to admit it.
No, I'm not, because it's not right. It's not.
And let's think about this. Where was Grimes? Where was Grimes drafted at in this draft?
In the
25, something like that.
In the
25. In the level of production, you got a guy that was the 25th pick on our team that came for the guy who was our prize free agent money-wise and was taking his time and getting ready to take his spot before he got injured. Let that sink in.
Right. Grimes was the 25th pick that averaged 6
Grimes was about to get 48 traded.
I'm going to be honest, though, guys. I don't want to compare the two, but I just believe that Grimes is an above average player. Like me saying Grimes is regular is just something I can't do.
Yeah, nobody said Grimes was trash.
Well, you calling him a ham sandwich.
He's calling him a poor man's Fournier. That's what he did.
No. I'm saying.
I'm going to pull the tape. I got a lot of info on you talking about Grimes now. You don't want me to have to pull the tape.
I'm not saying the only time you might hear me say something derogative towards Grimes is when we overinflate his value, and I feel like I have to bring his value back to where it is. Grimes is an average NBA player. That's it. And
so he won't be like that next year, though.
Next year, your guy who you love so much, RJ, and let's be honest. What is RJ in year 3? I want your honest assessment of what RJ is and everything of what he does. I want you to tell it like it is, because we all watch the same thing. And I'm not going to overrate RJ. I like him, but I'm not going to overrate him and act like gloss over stuff that he ain't doing.
Right.
Because some people want to make RJ to be the next Kobe, talking about some Maple Mamba and all. They need to stop with that. That's disrespectful.
Who had the higher free throw percentage, RJ or Grimes?
You said what?
He gonna trick y'all.
This is legit. This is legit.
Because you know Grimes don't get to the line, Uncle Breezy.
You can't answer a question with a question.
But
answer a question with a question.
Listen, guys, the easy cop-out is the stats, obviously, because one guy's played significantly more than the other. So I wouldn't even get into that. That's an easy cop-out.
That's why I asked him to look at RJ game, and you tell me the strengths and you tell me the weaknesses of RJ game. That's why I want to hear. Don't answer a question with a question, because that ain't answering the question.
Are we saying that? Are we saying that RJ has flaws? Yes.
I want you to name them. Because you sure stay away from RJ, but you killing everybody else. You been
like everybody have flaws in their game.
Killing Grimes.
Right.
And you was killing Deuce. Now here you loving Deuce.
No, I didn't kill Deuce.
You
I just said Deuce played
yeah,
scared.
you was killing Deuce
No,
earlier.
I didn't. No, I
You
didn't.
wasn't
Don't
giving
put that
Deuce
on
no
me.
love.
I said Deuce McBride was scared. He was shook.
You wasn't giving Deuce no love. You said stop that.
Right. No.
You said that guy is a G League player. Don't let me go pull them tapes.
No. When y'all not when you, but when people in general were saying, look at his G League numbers, I was like, yo, those are G League numbers. That's it. G numbers put up in the G League are G League numbers. That's it.
But what I'm saying is, don't sit there and try, because the way I'm hearing you start to go at Grimes is how you was doing Frank Ntilikina, and rightfully so with Ntilikina. But Grimes and Ntilikina ain't in the same. Matter of fact, Grimes and Frank Ntilikina got two different locker rooms.
Yeah, Grimes got heart.
Frank at the back of the building. Grimes at the front. So don't even compare.
Now we throwing
don't
Frank
compare
away.
Frank, because you start to do that with Grimes, Feezy. I don't know if you notice it, man, but you start to throw some stuff on Grimes, man.
I'm not hating Ron, you are really touchy about Grimes, man.
No,
I didn't call him trash. I said
Grimes.
Grimes.
I'm just stating what you're doing.
I said Grimes is an average NBA player, and you want me to say that he's more than that, even though he averaged 6 points a game.
I believe he has the potential to be more than that because, like I said earlier, I'm not going to compare him to RJ, but I'm also not going to judge a rookie. As Paris Duggar saying perfectly, I'm not going to judge a rookie after one season of limited minutes. I don't feel like that's good.
And I could co-sign with you. I could ride with you on that. Like the potential to be better, right?
You said what?
I could co-sign that. You said Grimes has the potential to be better than just an average NBA player.
Yes.
I could co-sign for that. But right now, is he an above average NBA player?
He's an above average NBA player when it comes to shooting the three. 38%.
I mean,
and that's what he's really asked to do on this team. He ain't asked.
He's doing his job.
He asked to shoot threes.
He's doing his job.
He's asked to shoot threes and play defense, and he does that quite.
Coming out as a rookie, he was better than Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, he did his job for what he was asked to do this year. He did his job.
He did his job, Freezy.
Yeah, he's a ham sandwich, bro.
I knew it was coming back.
He's a ham sandwich, man. Let's just keep it a buck, man. He a ham sandwich.
Oh, he got that hat on.
I just want to know who on the team isn't a ham sandwich, so I can just know for my own personal recollection.
That's a good one.
Who is not a ham sandwich?
I would let me.
The obvious is Julius Randle, but besides that, that's what I want.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this: Julius looking real good, man.
RJ is not a ham sandwich, bro. RJ Barrett is not a ham. RJ is, a 6-course steak dinner at a fine steakhouse in the city with a nice bottle of wine.
He's trolling right now.
No, I can troll right back because he knows, if you're saying that these guys are ham sandwiches too, and you're saying that Grimes is one, I'm gonna tell you that they're not a ham sandwich; they're just a slice of bread. Or I'm gonna tell you that they're just the cheese by itself, nothing else.
It's just the cheese.
Yeah. So I mean, when we talk ham sandwich,
who say Mitch is worth $20 million a year?
Nobody.
Well, let me do this real quick before we
I heard that earlier on panel.
Hey, Tramel, what's good? Tramel White, what's good with you, bro? It's long time, bro. It's been a long time, man. Hey, I know you saw that Devin Haney fight the other night, Tramel. Hey, can Reddish stats as a starter this year, 20 points a game and games finished, live in Atlanta, issue was health and not motor. One of the bigger role, Trey dominated the ball. I agree with you.
I agree with that. And I'll second that because it was really the fact that with Cam, it was the health, the injuries, obviously. Yeah. When he was starting for the Hawks, he did produce.
He was balling.
I mean, he was
and he showed out in the playoffs too.
He was pretty much upset at the fact that they paid Hunter and they basically let Cam Reddish know up front, Hunter is the guy. This is who we are believing in moving forward at your position. So Cam knew that he wasn't going to start, which is why he wanted out.
Yeah, then he went out and got Bogdan.
Right, he knew he wasn't getting paid, and he knew he wasn't going to get an increase in minutes, so he wanted out from the situation.
Yeah.
Smart business move.
Which makes sense.
Smart business move.
Right, and I think it's backfiring for Atlanta because now DeAndre Hunter can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
He
know what I'm
can't
saying?
stay healthy. They're probably going to also try to move Gallinari. I think you can see that happening soon. They need to make a
Yeah,
decision at the center
Gallo,
position.
oh man, Gallo best days are way behind him.
Yeah. And so I would say this just to Sam's question. Who else on the roster is a ham sandwich? I would say that the average guy, whoever the average guy is on the roster, and Taj Gibson is a ham sandwich. You can go get a third string big from anywhere. You can go find a Bismack Biyombo, Taj Gibson from any Costco or Sam's Club USA, right? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with our point guard rotation. Our third string point guard is any Joe Blow. I could get CWC right now, and he'll be better than our third string point guard.
Who is our third string point guard?
Hey, you know who it is, Ron, too. That's crazy, right?
I ain't no joke on the court.
Hey,
I know, that's
Ron,
what I'm saying.
he had to bring it full circle to you, though.
Yeah, man. And so while I'm not knocking the players, I like our young players, but I don't want to overinflate their value in like these conversations that we have, and give people the impression that we wouldn't trade, say, Quentin Grimes for a Ben Simmons, right?
So
Because I
tell
know
me
Knicks fans, some Knicks fans would be like that. They'll be like, man, I ain't trading Quentin Grimes for no Ben Simmons.
So Freezy, who's your untouchable on this team?
RJ.
But you
Julius
talking
Randle.
about drafting Benedict Mathurin? He's a two.
Yeah. But RJ Barrett.
Who else?
Man, this is a RJ Randle.
Or untouchable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Hey, for Randle to come back,
That's
he's
it.
gonna need some counseling because he can't pull that stuff what he did last year.
Yeah.
I like Randle, but he can't pull that stuff no more.
Yeah, he can't be like he was last year.
I'm gonna tell you this, Freezy. I'm gonna say this about Randle, and I said this the other day thinking about him. Randle gonna be, and you talked about it too. Randle gonna be on his best behavior this year, man. That stuff he did last year, he ain't doing that, man. And if you look at the recent video which showed him and them guys working out together, man, Julius Randle look in better shape than he did the year of his MIP season.
Yeah.
So my thing with Julius, man.
Oh snap! I ain't played it. Hold on, J-Book. Hey Ron, let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick for my guy. Hold on. My bad.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting. Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting. You can see my vision through the podcasting. But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting. I'm podcasting, he's podcasting. I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezy got them blowing tears.
Yo, what's up, boss?
Closest thing to the Reverend means I'm the deacon. Call up G-Mo just so he can talk the Legion. I'm squeezing, give my young ones to overstand some young advice. Talk about Mr. Man. You're supposed to let that play the man.
What's going on, Boogie, man? Good to see you, boy. Good to see you.
What's going on, Boogie? Man, how y'all doing, man? Sam.
Yeah, man. Hey, J Boogie, can you please come? Hey, can you please save Ron from himself, man?
Oh man.
Hey, get him, J Boogie. He talking about your boy Grimes.
Yeah,
he called him a ham sandwich, man.
I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, bro. What I'm saying is,
reason when you call somebody a ham sandwich and then we talk about steaks.
Ron.
How that sound?
Well,
which one you going to the table and go?
At least call them peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I love peanut butter and jelly.
I'll put it to you this way. First thing, shout out to the chat. First thing first. Shout out to y'all great men here on the panel. Also want to send a thank you out to anybody that's listened to help me almost reach 40.1K on my Stephen A. Smith diss on Twitter yesterday.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. That was 40.1K.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
that we counted that. Now, real quick on Grimes, y'all know I'm a Jayhawk dude. Jayhawk. Grimes has a lot with him. Me, I would have been better off, trading them picks and got Bill, but we didn't. But I'm also on record as letting people know Abaji is the reason why Grimes got up out of there.
Yep.
Got up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So, Grimes has a lot of heart. He could do a lot of things, but I ain't gonna say he's what kind of sandwich you said he was?
He called him a ham sandwich. I mean, he basically,
Ham sandwich.
but
He said no disrespect, but he's a ham
no,
sandwich.
Boogie. He basically meant baloney. He was being nice.
Well, I'm gonna say he's a thick peanut butter sandwich without the jelly and nothing to drink to wash it.
Oh Lord,
a choke sandwich.
they Boogie in cahoots.
Meaning he gonna stick to you, Freezy. He gonna
that wasn't a ham sandwich.
He gonna stick like glue.
Yeah, we call them choke sandwiches, bro.
Yeah, they gonna stick. Hey, them choke, you know what? Freezy, I heard nobody say that in years, boy. A choke sandwich.
Yeah, you right on it, boy. You right on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
He gonna choke you out on defense. That's what he gonna do, Freezy.
But he ours though, Ron. That's what I'm saying. That's our guy.
But see, the thing is, Freezy, you know what it is, man? Just like I said, man, we this uncharted territory for all of us, man. As long as we've been Knicks fans, we in uncharted territory, man. We got young players, some better than others. Hey, ain't no disputing that.
Right.
But a lot of these guys, I agree, are role players. And I think Grimes is a very good role player. This team just haven't filled up yet. We don't have that star. And I know some people want to make people stars, but we don't have a star on this team yet.
You're right.
All these guys, RJ included, is not a star right now. You know what I mean? The closest thing we got is a guy who's unstable in Julius Randle. That's the closest thing we got because he is our best player. Period.
Yeah.
I tell you what we need, man. We need a point guard.
Right. No
doubt. That's it.
No doubt.
Because we run around circle and everything, and a point guard open up everybody's game.
CWC. I agree.
Hey, but C-Dub, here's the thing. Point guards are like quarterbacks in football, right? When you got one, you want to keep them, right?
Yeah, boy.
Right? And if you got a decent one that's your backup, in order for a team to get your backup, you're going to have to pay the whole kit and caboodle. You got to pay for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Say that again, Freezy. Make sure Leon Rose hear that.
Yeah, make Leon Rose, if you listening, put down that ham sandwich. Put down that remote and do some work, Leon Rose. So, but here's the thing. Just like what Ron said, man. Yo, the thing is this. You need to hear this, Leon Rose. The Knicks need a point guard. Now, is that a new problem? No. But is that a Leon Rose problem? Yes.
That's a Till problem.
Right. Yeah. Like when you take the job, you take the. He should have played
McBride. That was a Till problem because you never know what McBride would have came. He could have been a point guard next year, and we wouldn't be talking about we need a point guard.
You do have a point there, and your own coach went on the limb and said that he regret not playing them guys sooner. But hey, that is what it is, man. But where we at right now, I agree with Freezy and everybody else, man. The point guard is the move. Forget small forward. Forget that. Point guard is the move. That's what we need. We've been sitting and waiting, man. We've been waiting like people waiting on checks on the 1st and 15th, man.
Right.
The thing about it is, I'm just saying it's gonna be so hard to get one. Like we're either in the position now of this team has to trust in what they have, which is the last resort. Second option is you try to get a guy in free agency, which we know that the players are limited on that. And then the first option is trading up, which in essence you're giving up all your stable or most of it in the draft, or you're giving up players to trade up for, there's only 2-3 solid guards in this draft who are like first round talent. Everybody else is going to be available second round. So if you're looking for a difference maker, it's kind of the numbers are limited on that as far as this offseason.
Well, if all reports is true, Sam, but they're talking about trying to get Ivy and trying to get that 4th pick from Sacramento to do it, I'm all in for it, man.
If they
Right.
believe that he's really that good of a player, then I feel like it's worth it. Now, if he's not, then of course we know what the consequences are going to be of that. But if he's that good of a
Exactly.
player, it won't matter.
Right.
But I think day one he steps in, he'll be the starting point guard.
Yep. He'll be a star.
Talking about Jaden Ivey?
Oh
Yes.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
He'll be and the thing is, the reason why you need a point guard, man, and everybody's seen it, man. Every team that has a point guard, man, they're going somewhere. They're going somewhere.
Yo,
So who y'all
Have
think?
a point guard, they're going home. They're going to
So who y'all think gonna get Ivy? Who y'all think gonna get Ivy?
Us.
The Knicks.
So let me
Knicks
ask you,
gonna get him.
Ron and Freezy, you think
Knicks
Victor
gonna get him.
Oladipo at his best, you think he could be a point guard?
No.
Why
Who's
not?
that?
Victor
No.
Oladipo.
And it's not. And here's the thing. It's not that Oladipo can't pass. That's not what I'm saying. It's not like Oladipo doesn't have vision. But it's about mentality. You know what I'm saying? Victor Oladipo is an undersized guard.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he does.
He wants to score.
He
Isn't that
wants
Jaden Ivey?
Huh?
I'm gonna be.
Isn't that
Yeah, I
Jaden
agree. That actually is Jaden Ivey. He's not. He's
See,
not
that's
really
what-
necessary. He's not really like a playmaker. He's more of a scoring athletic guard. So we need to understand that before we bring him in here. He
So he
might
like a
have that
Sexton.
ability, but we haven't seen that.
So he like a Sexton then.
He reminds me, you remember how they had Zach LaVine as a point guard at first?
Yeah.
But they
Because he had
decided-
all the tools.
Right.
Zach LaVine does have all the point guard tools. He's fast enough, athletic enough. He has court vision. He's a good passer. But the mentality of a point guard,
right.
yeah, is what Zach LaVine doesn't possess.
So
For
why
all
do you
those
think
that
he's not
say,
a point
for
guard?
all those that say Jaden is not a point guard and all that there, I'm gonna share this with y'all. That man has the capability to be a more intelligent Russell Westbrook.
Mm.
Russell was not a point guard.
Nope.
Remember, he played the two at UCLA.
Because Darren Collison was the point. Darren
Yeah,
Collison
he
played
never
point.
been a point guard.
Yeah.
But that man's a Hall of Famer and went 2 seasons averaging a triple-double. So if you got a guy that's explosive like this guy that can beat you off the dribble without a pick, get to the rack, and cause havoc amongst your defense, you got to grab him. If you can get him, you cannot not grab him. You
And
know what
Boogie,
I'm saying?
somebody
Yeah.
said it best too. They said, and we know this, but there's no real like pure point guard. Chris Paul is the last of the pure point guards. So all these guys coming out who are listed as point guards, some of them, they do various things. They're not just a pure point guard anymore.
Yeah, them days is
Combo
over.
guard.
It's just like your big men don't want to be big men no more.
Right.
They want to be guards, and they play like guards.
What Darius Garland was labeled as the next Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying? It's just the thing is, when you get in the league and the league has changed so much, now people are more or less into scoring. You got to be able to score. But Darius Garland is a pure point guard. But he just, adapted to what's going on in far as the NBA. And that's what you got to be able to do. You got to be able to adapt to the times of what's happening in the NBA. If you can't, you're going to be like us, left behind. Now we fighting to catch up, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we're running, but we're on a treadmill. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. We fighting too full, Boogie, to your point.
So let me-
Just real quick.
Go ahead.
Just real quick, Ron. The shooting guard to point guard thing is not an obsolete concept. I'll tell you what. A guy played shooting guard in college and wound up being the starting point guard for the New York Knicks. A player named Chris Childs. Y'all remember Chris Childs? Played shooting guard for Boise State.
Don't remind me.
He got to New York and wound up being a point guard.
Don't remind me.
And so
The one who gave Kobe a 2-piece.
Yeah. And so what I'm getting at is this. The thing with Ivy is at the beginning of last season, he looked like an attacking two guard in the style of Dwayne Wade, Victor Oladipo, right? As the season went along, you saw the transition to him being a point guard. Those that did the lazy scouting saw the Jaden Ivey saw the Jaden Ivey playing the two off the ball, being guarded by Johnny Davis and all that stuff. It's all over the internet, right? But they didn't see him later on in the season commanding an offense, right? Running the show. Now, sure, that's in college. And will it translate to the NBA? I can't say for certain. I ain't going to sit here and lie to y'all and be like, yeah, that's going to translate to the NBA. I can't say that, right? But what I will say is that anybody that's willing to learn and put in the work can get better at their craft.
I was chilling because I thought Rayology was gonna go off. Salute to you too, by the way.
Ray, what's good, Ray?
Salute, Ray.
Yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Ray, we are not drafting more power forward. I know Ray want more power forwards, bro. Ray is not 1986, bro. We can't run out 7 power forwards, bro.
I'm gonna say something for y'all right quick, and Ray, you can have it, and I'm gonna listen. I'm tell y'all right now. Y'all ready for this? I'm rocking with Julius Randle this season, man. I'm rocking with Jules.
We don't have a choice.
I'm going with Jules, man. Bounce back here for Jules, man. Bounce back here for Jules. Mark my words. Mark my words. I said it. June 7th, 2022. 11:03. I said it. Julius Randle is at a point in his career that if he don't get it together, the storybook already written.
Yeah.
And is ready to be on the shelf as a bestseller for all Knicks fans. He'll go down in history as one of the ones that flamed out in New York. I don't think he wants that. And looking at how he look right now, yeah, I'm going on record and saying it. That guy's going to have a bounce back year. And another reason why is because we're going to have a point guard this year, finally. We're going to finally have one for him. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah. Okay, Ray.
Damn, I'm speechless.
Yeah, don't get nervous, Ray. Don't get nervous.
Yo, Ron, you trying to break the algorithm? First and foremost, everybody hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. What Ron just said, he's about to break the algorithm.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand on it, man. And y'all can check me on it if he don't have a bounce back. Yeah, y'all be like, Ron, you remember? I'm gonna be like, yeah, I said it. But remember, I said it.
Uncle Freeze, man, you need to download this, document it, classify, put it away or something. Because, man, Julius Randle having a bounce back here. I don't know. It's possible. Anything is possible. But, again, it's the up top that I'm worried about. We're already a team that is transitioning away from Julius Randle's style of basketball. And under Tibbs, I can't trust that. I mean, how should I say this? Julius Randle's best performance, obviously, on the Knicks is when he started shooting like Steph Curry. And that's what made everything make sense. I've said it on other platforms that I think it was Miss Geraldine McIver that called it. I said that he was talented, but he's not a basketball fit. Miss Geraldine McIver responded and said, well, how was he not a fit if we made the 4th seed? The reason why it worked is because Julius Randle could shoot and score from anywhere on the floor, and he was basically shooting like Steph Curry. That happened 1 year out of 8. It never happened again. So the question that I pose, to fellow Knicks fans is, how plausible is it for him to duplicate that performance again? Out of 8 years, he only did it 1 time. So the probability tells me that he's more the other version of Julius Randle for the past 8 years than he's been that very 1 year. Either way, he's still talented. He's got 20, 10, and 5. I know that's something Julius Randle apologists love to run up to. With that, it's contextual, it's very layered, but I don't know. I can't chance it. If you're looking and trying to move off Julius Randle, there's a chance that he could slip even further, especially if you're looking to bring a trade up and go and get guys like Jaden Ivey and whatnot. You're changing the dynamic of the team itself. So what is Julius Randle's role in that? We saw that him playing out of his role made him lose his mind. So where's the evidence that shows me that he's all of a sudden going to bring it back around if we're moving the system further away from him?
You want the evidence? I'm gonna be Julius' defense lawyer this morning.
Okay.
The evidence is with exactly what you talk about. If they moving away, that means he's gonna have less responsibility of having to have that ball in his hand like that. But the one thing ain't nobody can deny, he's a handful. Ain't nobody really can stop Julius on that court but Julius. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
And the thing is with Julius, if you go back to the game when we played Orlando, not this year, and it might have been last year, and Julius Randle had, I think, 15 or 16 assists in that game and had maybe 15, 16 points. The ball was moving, and I always say that was Julius' best game ever in a Knicks uniform. That guy was playing, the ball was moving, it wasn't sticking. And if he plays like that, the team is better for it. The same thing we keep saying, or he can't play like that. Well, he obviously did it because there's proof that he did it. The problem is he didn't do it enough. So the fact that he showed me he can do it, and by all accounts of what's being said, what's coming out, the reports of how hard he's working, I'm telling you right now, man, if I was a betting man, and I don't gamble, but for those who gamble, I wouldn't gamble against Julius Randle this year. I really wouldn't, man. That guy has not had terrible back-to-back seasons, and even before he got here, that guy's trajectory has been going up. That's why he got the initial deal to come to the Knicks. Every year he was improving. So I got to be totally honest and got to give that man his props. All that other stuff that he did, of course, nobody like that.
I gotta agree with Amani on this one in the chat, because honestly, I believe that was partially the reason we know that he has some, mental issues that he was dealing with. But in my opinion, this is why we're in talent acquisition mode. Randle simply has no talent around him to help him at all.
Exactly.
It's a one-man show, and we see, just like somebody put in the chat, Kevin Middleton, all you have to do is send a double team Randle's way. Because if he gives the ball up, who's going to take the load off? We rarely saw that this year. We had a lack of offense on this team because of talent, which is why we're in talent acquisition mode. And in my opinion, we need to keep this draft pick and get somebody. We need talent. We don't need to pass on any draft unless we're just getting somebody who's a superstar, and we all can agree it's probably not coming anytime soon. So we need to take advantage of these draft picks and put talent around Julius Randle, because we can't guarantee anybody signing.
And I agree with the chat too. The biggest thing is Tibbs. You got more of a problem with Tibbs than you got with Randle. And I'm not saying you, Ray, but just you know what I mean? We got more of a problem with the coach than it is the player. Because the player can play, but the coach's style is what's causing a big problem, because there was no adjustment in that Atlanta series at all. Even after Julius went to him and reports was brought up that he went and told the coach what they was doing and that it wasn't working, we need to do something else. Stubborn Tibbs kept doing it, got us a gentleman's suite.
Listen, I'm not trying to sit here and bag on Randle. If you notice, most of my conversation and arguments have been the contextual surrounding layers around Randle and how much he just doesn't fit. He's a talented basketball player. There's no question about it. You would have to be off your marbles and then some to think that he's not talented. But the contextual layers that surround Julius Randle tell me he's not a fit for this team, and he would be
Ray. How you say he's not the fit, right? When he is an former All-Star, and the pieces around him in the backcourt shoot 40% from the field. Are you saying what I would say? Because I understand what you're saying. Because on the court, the offense looks clunky, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's because of Randle. I think it's because all the guards are one-dimensional. They do one thing well, and that's it. All of them. And those one thing might be different from player to player, right? It might be from player to player. Everybody do one thing. Like if you could combine all of our guards, we'd have one heck of a good guard, right?
You're right.
But Grimes can't put the ball on the floor. RJ can't finish at the basket. Derrick Rose can shoot the three, but he won't. Kemba Walker can't stay healthy. Evan Fournier can't pass. No court vision, and his pass accuracy sucks. He don't play D. And Alec Burks is a hot mess at point, right? What I'm saying to you is, would Julius Randle look this way if Zach LaVine was in the backcourt? No. He wouldn't. Because one, defenses wouldn't have to focus on Julius Randle, right? Two, Zach LaVine could get Julius Randle the ball. Zach LaVine could get him, Mitch, and Obi the ball, right? I think it's we're doing a basketball disservice to Randle, but when you look at raw data, the raw data says the Knicks backcourt shot right at 40% from the floor
40%.
and right at 38% from three. While the 38% from three number is impressive, what else do you do? That means you miss 6 out of 10 shots every night.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that doesn't sound fair. It sounds like I'm bashing the backcourt. All I'm doing is stating the obvious.
Yeah.
Right? If we had better backcourt play, Julius Randle and RJ Barrett wouldn't look as bad. And Mitch.
Yeah, you can't double up on Julius and triple team him because the defense don't respect the shooters out there. And
Right.
that's what happened. They ain't respect our shooters.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning with this. What is the best version of Julius Randle, in y'all opinion? The
2025.
Julius Randle.
Pinch post Randle. Pinch post Randle. On the floor. Pinch post Randle.
Yeah.
Randle catching the ball at the elbow.
Yeah.
Where he can take his man, like drive to the basket, finish or get fouled, kick out the open shooters in the corner, right? Or find men at the top of the key for three. That's best Randle. When Randle was doing that, remember that was Randle in the MIP season. Pinch post Randle, right? When Randle was averaging like 24, 13, and 6, right? And then the Knicks slowly started getting away from pinch post Randle because other teams found out that Reggie Bullock couldn't dribble.
Right.
And Elfrid Payton couldn't shoot. And so they finally got away from they smothered pinch post Randle and pushed him further and further away from the basket.
Yep.
Right. Nerlens Noel couldn't catch.
So
that's the best thing is to get the ball out of his hand, not to have him running the offense.
So Freezy, it sounds like, as we all know, and that being said, we need somebody that is going to play point guard for this team who can take the pressure off. And Amani, you just said the words out of my mouth. Take the pressure off of Julius. We need guys out here for floor spacing. So we can't have these guys who can't dribble, can't put the ball on the floor, can't shoot. You know, if we're going to have one guy that can't shoot, let it be the center. But I mean, we can't have multiple guys out here who just aren't talented.
And guess what? And guess what, Sam? To your point, and so people can be clear on it. It ain't just take pressure off Randle. Any team, if you got a number one player, you need people around to take pressure off of him.
Right.
Why Luka went home? Because Dallas couldn't shoot.
Right.
The same situation, man. When Jordan was in his heyday early on, why he went home? Because he didn't have no shooters around him. Not till Phil came there and got shooters. It ain't no different. It's really amazing what Julius Randle did. You just all the antics we all know. And I don't even like to keep talking about them antics. It is what it is.
Right.
Pressure bust pipe, we know that.
Right.
But there's no disputing that guy is one of the best power forwards in this league, period. Whether we like him or don't like him.
And by the way, guys, I just want to say this real quick and I'm done. I hold Randle accountable. He did not have a good year. But another, perspective that I'm looking at it as far as Randle is, you really don't want to move Randle this offseason because of that trade kicker he has. He has a 15% trade kicker on that contract.
Yeah.
So, it's going to cost you to move him. You'd rather, if you're going to move Randle, like I said, it needs to be for a player that's of that level or better. And then on top of that, you have to understand that you're taking a hit on that cap by moving Randle. That 15% trade kicker, that's expensive right there.
Yeah, and he could waive it.
I didn't know that.
And he could, and he could waive it if he wanted to. But why would Randle?
Right, we all know he's not
especially if you trade him to a place that he don't want to go.
Not only that, the man want to be here, Freezy. How many people ever? Who was the last person that wanted to be? Okay, yeah, the guy we drafted. Ain't no free agents wanted to be here. That was in their prime. None.
Ron, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because you've been a Knicks fan long enough.
Yeah.
How many free agents have the Knicks signed outright, not traded for, signed for another team, came here and made the All-Star team?
Only one I can think about. Man, I'm trying to think.
Not traded for, not Bernard King, not Carmelo, but signed outright as a free agent, came here and made the All-Star team.
Did Chris Childs make it?
No, no, no.
So I'm because let's see, Stephon Marbury, we traded for him, right? Did we sign or we traded for Stephon? Because he would probably be the last one.
I think we traded for Marbury.
And I don't think it's been done.
Thank you.
Uncle Freeze, hey, Uncle Freeze, I asked you a question earlier. What is the best version of Julius Randle? And I believe you said high elbow post, right?
Amari. Somebody said Amari. Good point.
Pinch
Amari.
post Randle. Pinch post Randle.
Okay. So does Tom Thibodeau have effective pieces? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that Tom Thibodeau's system? Is that what he does? Because last I checked, that's not what he does. So that's what I mean when I say he's not a basketball fit. I understand what you're saying about the individual talent. No question about it. But the problem is that what Tom Thibodeau runs and his system does not line up with what Julius Randle does. And especially in the defensive end, where, yes, I know there are some advanced metrics that speak positive to some things Julius Randle does, but most of them speak negatively to what he does. So I'm a little confused. Tom Thibodeau has gotten up in post-game presses and has said to us as fans, the best version of Julius Randle is getting to the rim. But he clogs the paint with a big man where he needs 48 minutes of rim protection and he needs the ability for offensive rebounds. So something's not adding up here. There's a contradiction going on. Now, you say that his best version is at that position, but Tom Thibodeau is saying this is the best version of Julius Randle is getting to the basket. But you're clogging the paint with a guy who can't stretch the floor and Mitchell Robinson, whose usage is one of the lowest in the league. Guys, I want to state that out loud for everybody because Jeremy Cohen said it on Knicks Film School when he was talking about the philosophy behind how they use their big men and why he doesn't think it makes sense for them to go up to, to use their number 11 pick to draft a big man. Nolan Noel, Taj Gibson, and Mitchell Robinson collectively ranked, back to back as the lowest usage rate
in the NBA of all centers. Yep.
Of all centers. So that tells me that, and obviously the big man is a big part of Tom Thibodeau's system. So where does that leave Julius Randle? Again, it's the reason why I keep saying he's talented, but he's not a basketball fit. He would prefer someone like Gordon Hayward, a proper stretch four that can shoot the lights out and then some. It's just that he's not available. He's always injured.
Okay.
And if you can't efficiently shoot the ball like Randle did in that one season, then what are you doing? And that's my point behind Julius Randle. It's got nothing to do with the mental aspects. Yes, sure, I can fix bad basketball, but I can't fix a broken mind or that sort of toxic, erratic behavior. I can't fix that.
Ray, that's why I think more of the problem is not Julius. The more and more we've been screaming that we need Tibbs up out of here. It's Tibbs.
Right.
It's Tibbs.
Okay. No,
he's not adjusting to what his player does well.
Listen, as much as you are off the wagon of, oh yeah, I don't want to talk about Julius Randle's, psyche and mental, discrepancies and all that stuff. Yo, we need to get off the train of, Tibbs got to go. He's here. So what are we going to do while he's here right now?
Well, you know what it is? Hopefully them bringing in Rick Brunson is a precursor to him opening up his offensive mind and doing things differently. And Rick Brunson ain't brought here just to sell no tickets. You know what I mean?
Rick Brunson has been with Tom Thibodeau in Chicago and has been with Tom Thibodeau in Minnesota. Rick Brunson, in my opinion, is just, yes, I'm sure he's talented as a coach. He's worked with some players and all this different stuff. But he's essentially Tom Thibodeau's man. That communicates to me that he's just a yes man. I don't see the element that Rick Brunson is going to bring with the defensive prowess in his mind, or he's a big man whisperer like Kenny Payne or what. Like, I don't see that. I just see him employing or continuing the rhetoric of Tom Thibodeau. because Tom Thibodeau uses assistant coaches in practice. It's not like Rick Brunson's like, hey, we need to run this and do this or whatever, bringing up the clipboard. He's a yes man. That's what he was in Chicago. That's what he was in Minnesota.
I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been together. Yes, man. I can't speak to that. All I know is Tibbs knows something has to change. I mean, he already came in his mouth. He said he should have played the young players more. So he knows something needs to change, or his NBA career is over. He won't get another coaching job after this one.
No, he won't. But at the same time, at the beginning of the season, he communicates to the fans and critical about how much he understands the nuances and sort of the realm of the younger player. And he's adapted and all this different stuff. Did we see that when he came in? Not really. So what evidence do I have to believe that he's this remorseful, according to Mark Berman and all these other reports? Oh, I should have played the young kids. What does that even matter at this point? Hindsight is 20/20, and it's after the fact. So I'm waiting for him to come into the season to see what he does. I don't know. Tom Thibodeau, to me, shouldn't be the coach of this team because of the direction, the
direction. And the fact that you said that, Ray, that's exactly what I believe. And to your point, he's here. But saying that, the fact that you're saying that, that's why I can't completely say Julius Randle is the problem, because your coach is responsible for setting plays, coming up with plays and stuff. So that's more on your coach to put your team in a position to win with the talent you have. Julius giving you 20, 10, and 5. You got to find out the most efficient way for him to get that production, but still not sacrifice the rest of the team around him. That's what Tibbs' challenge is.
But players play. And regardless of the 2020, regardless of the 20, 10, and 5, which I completely understand, this is not a Julius Randle hate. This is not about, like, it's contextual. It's layered. Context matters. You have to look at the other side of the coin. I'm not going to sit here and be like Julius Randle 20, 10, and 5 and not look at the advanced metrics. He's a negative to net neutral player. The defensive rating and offensive rating is better when he's off the floor. So what you're telling me in this 20, 10, and 5 is that it's just empty stats. And he just gets what he gets, and it's not really efficient, which is why I asked the question, which is more plausible. For him to revert back to what we know about Julius Randle, or for him to be that 1 year, one-hit wonder, for a season? Is that Julius Randle, or is this more the real Julius Randle? Because everything you're telling me about players putting around him, you got to reconstruct the roster real heavy. For a player that all of us agree, the consensus amongst Knicks fans is that he's a third option at best. Maybe a 2, but a third option at best. And we're constructing a team around that.
But Ray, you got to think, but it ain't. You got to do so much. The problem is the Knicks haven't had shooters around him. Period. Not since he been here. That's really the problem. We ain't had no. We barely had a team. We had a coach that came from Miami, and we all know who he is. That had Julius year 1. He got fired. You got Tom Thibodeau. But in the midst of all that, what players we've had around Julius Randle that can shoot? I'm waiting for it. Exactly.
Not really. I mean,
exactly. That's the major problem.
They hired Fournier.
That's your problem. That's why we went and got Fournier. We've had no shooters on this team to talk about, man. But Randle is Randle a mega star? Nah, I ain't. Don't even think I'm thinking that. But I'm just thinking our major problem is more Tibbs than it is Randle. And hopefully Tibbs can adjust. He said he spent all that time away. He learned something new. Hopefully he can put it into practice, because what he's been doing ain't working, and we all seen it. Well, and Rick Brunson might be his replacement.
I don't hate Julius Randle. It's not a knock on Julius Randle. I will forever stand on the hill and die on the hill that it's not a basketball fit. It's got nothing to do with all the extracurricular stuff, because the context behind that is the system has changed. You changed his role. So of course he's gonna, the human element tells me, yeah, I'm gonna be frustrated. Now there's some that act out, just above and beyond. And his man-child tantrums and whatnot were obviously debilitating to the team. But I understand the human element. I'm just simply saying, if you put him in Minnesota around a stretch 5 like Cat, what does he look like? if you put him in Portland with a Damian Lillard, because everybody keeps talking. I mean, Ron, you've mentioned it multiple times. We got to put players around him. How you gonna get those players? The free agency class is dry. It is dry.
There's only one way.
Yo, the trade market is limited at best. It's slim pickings.
All you
And
got
what
is the draft. That's all you have.
all you got is the draft. So I'm going to continue to say over and over and over again, Julius Randle is not a basketball fit for Tom Thibodeau. That's it. Now, you can want Tom Thibodeau gone, but he is our coach. I can cry about it all day I want, but he's still our coach. I could want Leon Rose gone, but he's still in the front office. Like, these guys are still here, which is why I am really of the notion that we just seriously need to look towards 2023, because who exactly are we jumping in this loaded Eastern Conference? Detroit, Indiana, and the Orlando Magic are behind us. I have a feeling they might be a little better than us. Just saying.
Tim saying put Randle in the right position. Well, he should have played mid-drive, running the point, and Julius went to his power forward instead of bringing up the ball.
No,
you know
Boogie,
what I'm saying?
Boogie, you know you gotta, Boogie, I hope those aren't some carrots, because you know you gotta have a ranch with them. I hope they're the Cheetos. Oh, okay, there we go. They're the chips. Okay, I just had to make sure.
Man, hey, y'all take LeBron James chips? The cheddar with the flaming?
Nah,
it's off the hook.
Okay.
Is it?
But hey, Ray, two things can be correct. I mean, you got two guys. You really got to separate one of them.
Mm-hmm.
With all being said, that's why I said, the thing is, for a team that's been starved of talent,
mm-hmm.
you get rid of Randle, who you bring in here?
Well, you got to bring in someone. You got to bring in at least a starter, because that's what Julius Randle is, a starter. Which is why I also think that I know a lot of people are going to push back on this, but just hear me out for 1 second. I think that Julius Randle is a good fit next to a guy like Domantas Sabonis. Now, before y'all jump out the window and be like, "Oh, Sabonis and Randle are not a fit," think about it this way: he's a 6'11" center. He's been positioned at the center, which makes Rashawn Holmes expendable. Julius Randle has moved his game towards the perimeter, and Domantas Sabonis is a playmaking big. So why wouldn't it work? You may potentially have an all-star front court in Sacramento. And mind you, like I kept bringing up about Utah having problems, Sacramento got problems. They're in their last year as a front office. There's a real if they're going to make a move for a player with the free agency market and the trade market kind of sort of being slim pickings, they need to make a move. McNair and them boys, they're in their last year. They got to do something. They got to bring in a player for them to get into the playoffs. Julius Randle might help towards that. That may land us Jaden Ivey. But a lot of people are like, yo, Sabonis and Randle are the same players. So what? Why doesn't that fit? Oh, they'll be the worst defense in the league. As if Sacramento was ever trying to be the best defense in the league. I'm sorry. It makes sense to me, to do that trade. But for Sacramento, I got to consider their side. It's whether they value Julius Randle the same way I'm sitting here thinking, well, Julius Randle could work for them. It could work. De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Julius Randle. You still need a wing, and you still have the 11th pick, and we get the 4th pick. I don't know. Kind of sounds like Sacramento would win some games with a Sabonis, Julius Randle, and Fox trio.
Let me read this super chat real quick for y'all go for the discussion. Paris Duggar sent a generous contribution. He said, "Glad that y'all said that about players not coming here and performing. Fans must stop stargazing, keep drafting talent and capital to complete this journey."
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Parrish, man. We got to worry about what's in house and what we can bring in through that draft, because ain't no stars walking through that door no time soon. Let's just face it, man. We got to do something. You know what it is? The Knicks are finally being forced to do something they should have done years ago.
Yep.
Build this thing the right way. Stop cheating.
Yeah.
They're being forced to do it at our expense, unfortunately. You know, we all want to see that banner raised. We all got a difference of opinion on how to get there. But at the end of the day, man, we all want that ring. We want to see that banner go up. And the thing is, we going to have to be patient with this thing, man, because we got a coach we know that's stubborn. And we got a system that he runs that we know is outdated. And we still got players. You think about it, we're one of the smaller teams in the league, too. That's another thing. We're not a big team. So it's a lot of work this front office got to do, man. So that's the point where I'm at, man. We got to be patient with this thing. Julius Randle, hey, come back, do your thing, man. Hey, we'll be better for it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Hey, fellas, I appreciate y'all, man. I got to run. J Boogie, good seeing you smiling, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Sam,
right,
good to see you, man.
Good to
Freezy,
see
where
you,
you
Ron.
at? Tell Benny stop
Boom.
chewing on the furniture.
I know it.
Appreciate
I
you,
know.
man.
All right, boss. Hey, take care. We'll see you tomorrow, bro.
You know, that's why I don't have the trust like I used to have in the office.
Yeah.
Because all this is on the office. I mean, whether Tom's system can work or not work, you still ain't brought nothing that fits his system. And it doesn't work. If you listen to the Darvin Ham interview yesterday on NBA Today, he said everybody got to be on the same page. Everybody got to, you know what I'm saying, be on doing the same thing. And that's what we're not doing. So if Tom's system is not working, that's because Leon don't have the right pieces for his system. I can say Carlos Boozer and Towns, those are all his power forwards, and they all was good players. But then the office also put things around them where they can, have some success. But we got to continue on building this thing through this draft. You know what I'm saying? And don't crash up the money. Reason why I don't have a lot of trust in them because they had opportunities and they crashed all the money. They came in here and went straight panic mode as soon as they got all that money and didn't know what they was doing. And that kind of like set us back some more. So, I don't have no trust in the office. You know what I mean? I just live. I live with whatever they do because I love the Knicks, man. We got a bunch of crash dummies.
Hey, Boogie, it's fine. I'll be there in 3 years.
Man, that ain't. That's too long for me. About 3. I need
But Jay Boogie
right now at this draft. What's up, Charlie Ward?
But Jay Boogie, you can't blame the offense either, though. You have to blame Tibbs because if you think about it, those Tibbs guys right there, like Bro,
but
Noel,
they bring him in though. They bring him
and
in.
well, they got rid of Pate and Bullock to bring some shooters and to bring other guys that could score.
The
playmakers.
office signs the contract though. C-Dub.
I just hope y'all ready.
The office sat there and told us that they're going to build through the draft.
Yeah.
And then Leon reset that at the end of last season. And that's what he's not been doing when he spent all that money.
I think he was helping Tibbs out too.
I think
to sign Noel back. Because you remember Noel was playing better than Mitchell, and everybody like Noel should be our center.
Man, that ain't
I never said that.
That ain't have nothing to do with
That's why they signed. That's why they signed Noel.
Well, listen,
man,
he was playing better than Mitch, and everybody like Noel should be our center.
Well, CWC, I'm gonna tell you what I saw, and this is what I've been saying for at least the past season now. I witnessed Noel get victimized by Clint Capella, and I said he wasn't worth the money even before we paid him.
Right then, yeah.
But the Knicks still did so because they felt that they needed to justify him playing good for the rest of that season. When in the playoffs, he got victimized.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, Noel was playing good ball in the regular season, though.
But he didn't get victimized with a brand new approach to offense and defense. He got victimized by flat out hustle and physicality.
Yeah.
Right. That's not even strategy. Clint Capella said, "We gonna bully y'all, we're gonna hit them in the mouth, and ain't nothing they can do about it." And guess what? He did it, and there was nothing we could do about it.
And we saw the difference, guys. Look at the past games this regular season when Mitch played against the Hawks. We saw the difference. And we know that if Mitch was there, it would have been a difference in the playoff series. So we can't act like Noel is, deserving of being on the roster right now.
Man, they gave that man that money on a favor and felt
Right.
sorry for him because what happened between
In Dallas.
LeBron's man and all that when he turned down that money. They
Yeah.
just gave him some extra bread on some lookout type thing. That's all that was. I know they didn't give him no money for his skills.
Couldn't have. Not for skills. Because you got to be able to, you got to be, first of all, in order to have skills with a basketball, you got to be able to catch it. And y'all already know Nerlens Noel cannot catch a basketball, bro.
That man beats that ball up trying to squeeze it. Break a fingernail, jam a finger, everything.
Hey, Boogie, I already told you. Remember, I told you guys what we did this whole season. I told you guys what we did. We paid for Noel to get them dreads retwisted, them locks. I'm sorry, locks. We paid to help him get those locks retwisted every single week. That's what we paid for. Because he didn't suit up, but what, 10 games? I didn't see anything.
It seemed like it. It seemed like it, man.
Noel did his thing, man.
I just always
Yo, I'm gonna jump on this highway, y'all. I gotta pay attention, man. God bless y'all guys, man. Keep rocking, keep doing what you're doing. I got the volume up. I'm listening. I don't want to just hold up the spot and not, be able to, rock with y'all.
No, for sure. And all I got is about 10 more minutes anyway before I get out of here and take this dog outside. So
okay then.
But I did want to ask CWC and Ray and Sam and ask you guys, what do y'all think about the Knicks drafting 4 and 11? Right, the possibility was presented. Right, right. But in this scenario, do you upgrade your backcourt? Do you go get 2 athletes to go in? Do you go Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin?
Yes.
But Uncle Freaky, can I give you this? If we do that, right, we're gonna have to give up Grimes or Cam or McBride to do that.
Okay.
So who you gonna have to give up to get that guy? Because you're gonna have to give up somebody.
So
what? Nobody, No.
I'm just saying.
No. I'm saying so because if the theory is no one is untouchable, everybody. What am I trying to say? If everybody is not untouchable on this team, then everybody is not untouchable on this team. Everyone can go. We got questions up and down the roster. And if it's an opportunity to get better players, especially for this front office that strongly wants to mold, this roster in their image, then so what? Who cares?
So RJ Barrett could go too, right?
You're going to have to. If you're getting 4 and 11.
I'm glad you brought up the RJ point because I was in treatment last night thinking about it like, is there a real possibility that RJ Barrett could be used to trade up for number 4?
He'd have to be.
You're telling me that Sacramento doesn't want Julius Randle and the fit between Sabonis and Randle don't work, but they want Jaden Ivey back. So if Sacramento says, give me Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett and some other picks or whatever, would you give up RJ Barrett?
So the thing I've seen from Sacramento is that they don't necessarily want Jaden Ivey. You know what I'm saying? They take him.
They'll take him, obviously.
But they are fascinated with this dude Keegan Murray.
Oh, then if they trade out of 4, they're not getting Keegan Murray, especially if they drop down to 11. I mean, the only way that we'd be able to swing both 4 and 11 is if we're giving them players for them to win right now. That'd be Julius Randle, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, just to move up from 11 to get number 4.
And future first.
So if you want both 4 and 11, you are sort of gutting the roster and you're kind of starting all over.
I don't know. Because if you...
Uncle Freeze. Oh, my bad. Yeah, Uncle Freeze, you think the GM's talking right now? Like who they want? Yes. And who we want?
They have to.
Not only are they talking right now, but I think they have been talking over the past month or so.
Yep.
Right, all the way back from the G League Combine, the college scouting combine. All that. I think everybody is busy right now. I think it's a beehive of activity right now. What I would say too is I don't think it's as expensive to move up to 4 as what you guys think, and I also think that Julius Randle is more valuable around the league than what Knicks fans think.
Yes.
Because when we're up on a guy, we have them unreasonably overrated. And when we're down on a guy, we have them unreasonably underrated, criminally underrated, right?
Yep.
What I would say to this is a Sacramento deal is not necessarily the deal that you could watch for, right? I think if Sacramento takes Keegan Murray, Detroit is the team that you could offer playoff experience to go with Cade Cunningham. And all of a sudden, Detroit gets the thing they want. They get to make the playoffs, right? With young talent, right? And the Knicks get what they want in Jaden Ivey, right? Because Detroit's not going to take Keegan Murray when they already have Sadiq Bey developing at a rapid pace, right? Why would you get two guys that play the 3-4, do the same type thing, and Sadiq Bey is already there, right? So if Ivy and so it's the same thing with Sacramento. Sacramento already has young talent there. Sacramento already has a young shooting guard that they like, that is already an NBA champion. Excuse me, and Dante DiVincenzo. And people forget that Dante DiVincenzo is in Sacramento, right? Yep. So it's one of those deals where you got to kind of look at the board play itself out. Don't forget what's on these teams' rosters, and don't forget about their motivations. Sacramento wants to make the playoffs because their front office is on the hot seat. Detroit wants to make the playoffs because Troy Weaver doesn't believe in tanking. Troy Weaver is the GM president of the Detroit Pistons, right? Yep. He wants to get Detroit out of the doldrums because he thinks he has a young core, and Sadiq Bey, Cade Cunningham, and the center. What's the center? Isaiah Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart, yeah.
Right. They also have.
They also have Marvin Bagley. Don't forget.
And they also have Marvin Bagley.
Hey, Uncle Freezy, do the money have to match through the draft? Like, say, we get Ivy, right, and they get Randle. Don't the money have to match? Don't they have to give up like Barnes or something like that?
Well, teams that operate over the salary cap. Teams that operate over the salary cap have to match salaries within 10%, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's one of those deals. It's one of those situations where you can't operate over the cap and get all the exceptions. You know how you hear people on podcasts say, "Oh, the mid-level exemption, the biannual exemption, the veteran such and such," all those type things. When you're over the cap, you get those things. When you're under the cap, you don't get any of that stuff. Right? You don't get trade exceptions. You don't get any of that stuff if you're operating below the cap, right? So teams generally operate a few dollars above the cap, right? They operate and pay the menial tax like the Knicks do. The Knicks are above the cap, so they can get all those exceptions, but they don't go way over the cap, right? And so with the question that you asked, like, you know, what would the Knicks have to do to get Randle to Sacramento in terms of salary? Think about this. Randle doesn't make $45 million, bro. This season coming in, Randle will make $26 million. Right?
Okay.
That's peanuts. That's peanuts for an all-star, basically. Right? So all Sacramento would have to do is match that salary within 10%. So they would have to, 2.6 mil. So 26. So they have to just offer like 23 something mil in return, right? And so now you're talking about two deadbeat veterans, and that 4 pick, and the Knicks would have to. This is the thing. In order for you to get Ivy, I don't think you have to trade a whole bunch. I don't think you have to trade RJ and Obi and all of them. I think you got to come off the 2023 first round pick, the Knicks pick, right? Do you want to come off the Knicks 2023 first round pick in a draft that you might be able to get a homegrown generational talent in Scoot Henderson? For us, Scoot Henderson for us would be our LeBron James. Yep. It would be that right there would be like our when Chicago drafted Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? Like when the hometown boy get drafted, you know what I'm saying, get drafted that high, right? But at the same time, you would assume that a backcourt of RJ Barrett and Jaden Ivey doesn't get you that high in the lottery. You think by starting Obi, you don't think you'd be in the lottery that high. You think you'd be picking in the teens at least, at a minimum, right? But would you really, with a dynamic rookie guard, would you really? Well, nowadays rookies have exceptional rookie players have a bigger impact on rosters. Young guards, like you didn't have to wait 6 years for Ja Morant. Ja Morant ready right now. You feel me? You didn't have to wait all those years for LaMelo Ball. You didn't have to wait all those years for Anthony Edwards, right? You didn't have to wait all those years for Cade Cunningham. These dudes are coming in the league ready right now. So if you get a Jaden Ivey, you would at least expect him to average like 15 and 5 off rip, just off of him being the best athlete out of this draft.
I mean, we have to trade it for Jaden Ivey because this league is about matchup advantages and the ability to create a matchup advantage. Jaden Ivey creates a matchup advantages. He may not be. I mean, I liken Jaden Ivey coming in the way Derrick Rose was in his rookie season. Super uber athletic, especially in transition, as well as the half court, which is a big deal because, I mean, his first step, he's gone. You need someone like that who can create an advantage. We don't have advantage creators like that on this team. RJ Barrett, as much as I love RJ Barrett, and man, do I love RJ Barrett as the basketball player on this team. He doesn't create matchup advantages. He just bullies his way to the rim. Same thing with Julius Randle. Same thing with Mitchell Robinson. Same thing with, I mean, maybe IQ, but it's weird because the one good thing that IQ can do in terms of creating a matchup is a straight line speed. Once he gets on your hip, you're either going to foul him or you just got to let him throw up the floater. That's it. Yep. So as far as this team is constructed right now, we don't have matchup advantage creators, and that's what we need.
That's exactly what we need.
More than that, I mean, I get in the athleticism, which is I'm a big fan of athleticism because it changes the dynamic and nature of how teams have to play you. Right. Teams have to pay attention to Obi Toppin, otherwise he's in the air. You can't sleep on Obi Toppin and just act like, oh yeah, well he's just going to stand in the corner. You have to account for that. You know, I mean, I don't know. The more I keep thinking about it, I'm starting to believe that this front office might be looking to reshape this roster in their own image in a way that they haven't done in year one and year two. Remember, year one was about evaluating the bones of the house, what I can work with. Year two was supposed to, I guess, piggyback off the success we had. Right. If they want to keep their job, longer than them being on the hot seat right now, I gotta believe there's a possibility that they may blow this thing up, and you might see a version of Sacramento saying, hey, we want RJ Barrett. Because again, if they want the 2023 pick, they don't want the Dallas pick. They want the New York Knicks.
They want the Knicks pick.
They want the Knicks pick.
But Ray, let me ask you this just real quick. Let me interject real quick because this is something real interesting to think about. Mm-hmm. What would you think about this team with a backcourt of Jaden Ivey and Scoot Henderson?
And
is trading RJ Barrett worth it? Jaden Ivey and Scoot Henderson in a backcourt. Would you be willing to give up any Nick? Is any Nick off the table in order for you to put that backcourt together?
No. I'd make that move. That move. Because the reality is this, man. Like, this league the people who win in this league is obviously driven by stars. We know that. Long-term success, you need players who can create, again, matchup advantages. And for years to come, I think a backcourt of Jaden Ivey and Scoot Henderson, that is a very dynamic backcourt.
Yep.
That is, and can you imagine what that looks like in the year 2026, 28?
26, 27, after some
Yo.
NBA weight room, after some
Yo.
NBA weight room and some hard playoff losses, some
Now
high
we're
leverage
talking-
losses.
Now we're talking about getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now we're
Right.
talking about actually contending. But
Right.
as it stands right now, if you're talking, for all the Julius apologists, yes, RJ apologists, me being a big Cam Reddish apologist, these guys are not untouchable.
Right.
And I thought about it for a long time last night. Like, yo, who on this team am I just absolutely not touching? RJ Barrett, the consensus among Knicks fans is that RJ Barrett is not a max player. Do you believe that the front office thinks the same thing? How much are they willing to pay him? How much are they willing to actually pay him? I mean, the most I said on a show not too long ago on Uncle Freeze's show, I said here that I would pay RJ Barrett $30 million. Then I started looking at all the $30 million player. And then, of course, with relation to inflation and, the cap going up and all this stuff.
Right.
I'm sorry, RJ Barrett is not in that category. And we are using the tool or the metric of hope that he will become that. But that's not who he is right now. I'm hoping RJ Barrett breaks out. I'm looking for Cam Reddish is the X factor on this team. If he can't average a minimum of 65 games, averaging 25 minutes, scoring 18 points, averaging 5 rebounds and 3 assists, he got to go.
Right. Hey, Ray, let me say this real quick to Kevin Middleton. Hey, Kevin Middleton, the reason why Scoot Henderson is in the G League right now, but is not in this draft, is because his draft age doesn't allow it. He's too young, right? If he was draft eligible, he would be the number 1 pick in this draft, period. Yeah, Scoot Henderson would be the number 1 pick in this period, and it wouldn't even be close.
It wouldn't even be close.
It wouldn't even be close. Scoot Henderson just turned 18 2 months ago, right? And so Scoot has to play out this year and had to play out this year in the G League, he was the youngest. Think about this. He was the youngest player in the G League by 7 months, right? By 8 months? What did Ray? By 8 months, 7 months? Was it 8? Yeah. 7 to 8 months, right? He was the youngest player in the G League by months, right? Yep. And he averaged in the G League 14, 5, and 3. 14, 5, and 3. That's just for information. That ain't beef. That's just for information.
Yo,
the dude was I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
No, Freeze. If we land Scoot Henderson, oh my God.
And Jaden Ivey, Ivey and Scoot Henderson, bruh. That's and hey, and if that happens, I would give Leon Rose a contract extension.
Yes, I would.
You know what I'm saying?
Without question, there'd be no hesitation behind that, man. Like, this is also another reason why if we're not getting Jaden Ivey, big take. I know some people would disagree. That's okay. New information should always provoke new thoughts.
Right.
I'm saying if we don't land Jaden Ivey, if we can't move up, I'm okay trading out of the draft and collecting more.
Period.
Yep. 2023. Because listen, 2023. I mean, the way people are talking about this draft, there's a potential that at least 4 of those players would be in the lottery right now. I'm talking top 4. We may be having
right now, not a year older, not with more seasoning, not with an additional year of working out. Like Victor Wembanyama, man, come on, bro. He would probably be, if him and Scoot Henderson were in this draft, they'd be the number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft.
Yo, Chet Holmgren would drop down to like 15. That's how crazy his talent is for next year. And one of the major reasons I'm such an advocate for moving up with Sacramento, and again, asking the question, can a Julius Randle and Sabonis fit? Now, I know some people say...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, so what happened if the trades don't go through with Ivy or the point guards like in the first round? You think we could go to a second round and get a point guard just like to be like a floor general to help us out?
That's a great question, bro.
That's a great question. At that point, if I'm being honest, if I'm in the front office, I'm looking at cap flexibility. So I'm making a trade for an expiring point guard deal, like a Russell Westbrook. I would consider that part because the money is immediately coming off the books and it's
In
freeing it up.
2023, yep.
Exactly. That in that case, CWC, I would do that.
Yep. And I would, as a matter of fact, I would ask the Lakers for a first round pick to take on Westbrook's contract.
Yes. Yep.
And then that way, what I would do, I could trade out of this year's draft completely, right? Because some of those point guards you mentioned, some of those point guards are going to be undrafted free agents also, because you can only draft 60 guys, right? So what I would do is I would consider that route, trade out of the draft completely, right? Trade with the team, try to get in the top 15 of next year's draft, in the lottery of next year's draft, right? You go to, say, a team like Orlando that seems like they're a bad team with the arrow pointing up. You go to them and say, hey, listen, I'll give you 11 right now so that you can reinforce this young roster. That way you'll pick 1 and 11, right? Yep. And so say for instance, they get Jabari Smith and Benedict Mathurin, right? Let's just say that happens. That's too enticing for Orlando to turn down. So we get their pick in next year's draft, right? So we'll pick, say the Knicks have a bad season, say we pick 6, right? And Orlando barely misses the playoffs, they pick 14. And Dallas, say their pick comes in at 23. So we have 6, 14, and 23 that we can offer some crazy team for the number 1 pick, right? Now you can either move up, and get VW, bro. VW, and for those that don't know who VW is Porzingis with handles. Imagine if Porzingis had handles, right? Imagine if Porzingis could ISO his man and take them off the dribble with all the other stuff that he could do.
Yeah.
And not be a biatch. And not be a biatch. Imagine Porzingis not being a biatch and also had handles and ISO ability, right? This is like the dude that you create to play on 2K. VW. That's who VW is, right?
Yep.
Now, is he going to be the GOAT? I'm not saying that. But is he a franchise? Is he a franchise player? Is he that crown gem? That word that I've been. Yes. So CWC. To your question, what if the guy is not there? There are so many possibilities. That, like for instance, right now, Leon Rose, the world is your oyster. You have so many ways to get imaginative, right? Like if you trade out of this draft completely, right, to trade into the 2023 draft, I'd be mad because I'm going to Sim's party, the Sim's draft party in Atlantic City. So I'd be mad because I flew all the way up there and the Knicks won't pick.
Yeah, ain't getting nothing.
we ain't getting nothing.
But at least he traded into the 23 though.
Right.
I mean, you got to think about it like this, and we all have to think about this collectively as New York Knicks fans. And I've asked the question multiple times on this show: are we a playoff team, a play-in team, or a lottery team? I'm looking at the landscape of the Eastern Conference. This conference will be tougher by next year with the Celtics, Miami, Philly, all that wonderful stuff. And then you got to think about who do we have the potential to jump, or can we jump anybody? We got Detroit, Indiana, and Orlando behind us who may be better than us.
Are improving.
Thank you.
Washington improved, and then they started tanking late. Remember, they were improving, but Cleveland is not a fluke. Injury. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off, but Bradley Beal is, to your Washington point, Bradley Beal is going to sign his extension. That is way too much money on the table for him to turn down. I think he's going to resign. Washington didn't have Bradley Beal and intentionally looked to tank.
Right.
I think all I'm simply saying is, this is a loaded Eastern Conference. We have questions all up and down this roster in which IQ and Obi are entering their third years, I believe, right? They're entering their third year. So they're getting ready for a contract extension. We need to find out and answer those questions of who they are on this roster. I'm just saying, like, I hope Knicks fans don't have this weird idea that we're going to be in the play-in or we're going to be in the playoffs. I'm not saying I don't want that to happen. I'm just saying I'm looking at the landscape of the league.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
I'm with you. I'm with you. All I'm saying is, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm saying I'm just hedging towards 2023 because the draft prospects from 1 to 10, I mean, would easily be a top, like their top 3 guys in the 23 draft that are going to be picked at.
Hey, all right, guys. I'm about to head out.
All right, boss.
I'll see y'all later.
All right, we about to get
out. All right, chat. Uncle Freezy, Radio.
All right, boss.
Salute.
Yeah, man. And so Ray, what I'm saying is so since we're in the off season, since this is the off season, man, I think it's okay to consider all the possibilities, right? Because other teams do stuff, and Knicks fans are like, oh my God, can you believe what such and such did? But when Knicks fans think about that stuff, they're like, no, we can't do that. That's not allowed. But why not? And it's the reason why we've been in the lottery forever, because we just don't have the gusto, the oomph to make the cojones to make major moves.
Yeah.
Right.
At some point, conservatism doesn't work forever. You got to be aggressive.
Right. Like it's like when you be in a fight and you getting beat up. Like what happens is the Knicks are getting a fight and they start getting beat up, right? The Knicks cover up instead of trying to fight back, right? And sure, covering up gives you some sense of safety, right? But fighting back is the aggressive thing to get this guy a gal off of you. Anyway, Ray, let me get out of here, man, so I can. So because it's nap time. It's nap time for your boy. You know, we've been up since like 7 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It's time to get some Z's. We'll be back on Rockin' tomorrow. I wanted to talk some Mark Williams. Of course, as usual, when you approach a subject and then you never get to it. But yeah, you know how it is.
We just got to stay on topic. It's all good.
Yeah,
I gotta walk this dog just like you gotta walk yours. So.
Yes. I gotta walk the hell out of my dog. I gotta get some of this energy out of him. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, chat, we will holler at y'all tomorrow. We'll see y'all later.
Salute.